Okay, we're just going to mute it for a little bit, but if you have any questions, just throw it into the chat bar. All right, folks, we're going to get started. We appreciate you showing up for our first online tutorial kind of discussion group for the Startup 100. So I'm Michael Sanderson. I'm the Manager of Skill Development and Training here at the Sobey School Business Development Center. Oh, I'm going to turn my other computer down, and I'll let Jared introduce himself.
Yeah, for sure. So, hey guys, Jared here. You've probably either gotten some emails from me or we've chatted on the phone or met in person. But I just want to say I'm super excited to be working with you. We've got a lot of people here at the center that are super excited to help your, turn your ideas into action and to work with you and help you develop as young entrepreneurs. So, yeah, I'm super excited to see where this next 100 days is going to lead us. And if at any point you ever have any questions or there's something you want to chat about, just feel free to fire me off an email or give me a call.
Yeah, and I'll echo that. Part of this program, this is a pilot project that you're all part of. It's the first year running it. We've been getting there's lots of excitement, not only from on our end, but from the communities that you're from. So as we go through this process, we're going to be connecting you to community leaders, to your own town councils, and providing you with the support that you need. And all of us here at the Business Development Center, we have this strong passion in entrepreneurship. I mean, myself, when I was just a student, I had just graduated university. I went off and launched my own horrible video store. And I say horrible because it failed very, very horribly. So I look back, though, and that was one of the best times of my life. And even though I failed that video store and, I went like bankrupt and the whole works, I would still go back and do it without hesitation, that it literally was one of the best experiences I've ever had. So for us, giving you guys this experience and enabling you to start your own businesses, to take your ideas to the next level, it's really exciting. And and we go into it with our eyes open. Not everyone not all of you are going to find amazing success. There's going to be challenges along the road. You're going to hit pitfalls. You're going to start with one business idea, and then 50 days from now, you're going to be like, I need to start a whole new. I need to come up with a new idea, and that's really about the process. And we support that 100%. And so our role will be to, I'll let Jared kind of fill you in on some of the stuff to expect from the program. But really, we're going to be here every step of the way with you, and we're going to celebrate your successes and celebrate your failures. And hopefully at the end of it, there will be 100 of you that have launched businesses. But most importantly, you'll be able to share with one another the experience of being part of this program, which I think is pretty great. So I think you should all be able to see the slides. If you can't see the slides, just let me know. If you have any questions throughout, like I said, just put them in the chat window. There's a couple of us on, so we'll make sure we notice it and we'll stop. This should be pretty informal and should be fun and, be able to talk back and forth. So, you can always take your mic off mute if you want to ask a question as well, so that everyone can hear you is fine with all of us. Fundamentally, when we think of this project and why you're here today, it's really about entrepreneurship. But for us, it's about more than that. I mean, entrepreneurship is starting a business, which is pretty awesome. But it's honestly, it's about changing the way you think about things, the way you act, the attitude that you have. And I think there's a couple of you here online. I think I saw you were able to attend the Starting Point conference here that we had last week. And I think if you were there for those couple of days, you really see this attitude. And it's one of just passion and sharing and community and saying, what if we did this and what if we did that and wouldn't that be cool? And so, I'm really excited that you guys are here to take part in that. So maybe I'll turn it over to Jared now, and he's going to just walk you through kind of some of the things that you should be expecting for being part of the Startup 100.
Yeah, sure. Thanks, Mike. So there's a lot of different things that you can expect, and this slide just highlights a few of the main ones. But basically, from the emails you sent from me, I've mentioned what we call startup sessions, and these startup sessions are led by experts in their field. They're folks who have either done this thing before or know a lot about it. And each startup session, as I've mentioned, is comprised of a quick 10 to 15 minute video, a few additional resources that you can apply directly to your business, and then also a quick quiz. And that quiz isn't, we're not going to be grading you on that. That's more or less for us to know that you've actually completed the module and that you're engaged in the process. And we're also going to tag along just a few additional questions on how the session went, areas that we can improve. As Mike said, this is a pilot project, so we're going to be learning just as much on our end as you are as we go through this program. This is going to be a nice environment for you to share ideas and earn badges. The badges are basically going to be an incentive program for you as you move along, and you'll get badges for your first dollar earned or a green initiative that was implemented, those sorts of things. Your first sale, your first failure, those sorts of things.
This will be like the coolest video game you ever play because you'll earn these badges. And we expect the badge system to be unrolled probably within the next month or so. So it's not going to be right away, but once we'll be keeping you updated about it.
Yeah, and then we also have some funding available. Now, this funding is available through the Students in Business program. And so we have a partnership with them. And basically, we're going to, if you're looking for funding, we'll be able to help you create your business plan, your marketing plan, and your budget. And those are the documents that are required by the Students in Business loan. That loan can cover you for funding up to $5,000 or anywhere in between. And 10% of it is actually a rebate. So if you successfully complete the payment of the loan, then you can get 10% of that back in your pocket. So if that's $5,000, you're looking at $500 back in your pocket or reinvested back in your company. And, most importantly, we want to help you launch a business. So if you have an idea right now, or if you just want to become entrepreneurial, think about something that you want to pursue. And over the next 100 days, we're going to do our very best to help you pursue that and make your dream become a reality.
Yeah, and when you're ready to launch, you could launch today, or you could launch at the 100th day. And for us, it's about when you're ready. And you'll know when you're ready to launch because you'll have said, this is the business that I want to start, and you'll have come up with a really cool name. And when you're ready to do that, reach out to us and we'll help you go through the process of registering the name. In many cases, we're going to reach back to the communities that you're from and try and find help supporting the cost of registering the name. It's only, I think, a $100 fee in total to register a business name, but it's nice that we're going to try and get people to be part of that process so they can feel like they're part of your community-based business, especially those of you that are calling in from the rural areas. So as soon as you're ready to launch, you let us know, and then we'll do that. And not that the program ends then. When you launch, we're going to continue working with you, and you'll still be part of the 100 days and doing all the training and stuff. Just launch as that official. Now you've got a registered business. Now you can start earning money, and you'll get one of those amazing "I earned my first dollar" badges. Yeah, just let us know when you're ready to launch, and we'll go from there. So for today's kind of session, I really wanted to focus in and talk about, your ideas. And so maybe just as a good start, if everyone just it puts in the chat window just the base idea that you have right now. It doesn't have to be too much. And if you don't have an idea, just say, I'm not really sure yet. But I'd like to get a feel for some of the ideas that we have coming out there. Don't all chat at once. Oh, we got 22 on right now. Not sure. Tiffany, you're not too sure. You got some ideas. Great. I'll keep my eye on that as we're going through. I just want to get an idea of where you guys are at. I like the idea of doing a not-for-profit. It brings into one of the things that we're going to be doing for you guys is making sure you're thinking about kind of the triple bottom line, the building a social enterprise that cares about the environment, cares about the people, and of course cares about profits. So look, a couple of bookkeeping and accounting ones. You guys might be able to work together a little bit. Yeah, this is great. Sport and recreation related. I like all the ideas. Keep them coming. And so really today, what I want to do is I'm going to get you to start thinking about these ideas. And I'll tell you, every time you do a workshop with me and every time we discuss, we're going to have, I'm going to have tasks for you. So as we go through this, we're going to have a couple of tasks because that's the key. I think fundamentally the key to success is making decisions, take action. It's a mantra that we use here. So the program itself, this is about attitude. It's all about attitude. And, I want you to have that attitude. Be visionary. Think big. Don't fear what other people are going to tell you. I'm sure you've all been there. You tell your friend, they kind of stare at you blankly for a few moments and then tell you what an awful idea it is. And, we can't fear that. When I had my video store and I told a lot of people told me it was going to fail. Now, granted, it did fail, but the thing is that it didn't bother me. I listened to what they said and I still just went with what I wanted to do. And that goes to the next one, don't hold back. Like, just come up with a plan and say, you know what, I want to do this. And our job will be to help take that idea and add structure to it and add priority to it so that you can launch it. And we'll be teaching you things like the lean startup and how to get out there and run your business with very little money to test it out before you launch full time. Don't hold back. Think big. And we'll help you kind of launch in the moment and that smaller scaled opportunity for it. Fundamentally, there's no such thing as bad ideas. So, what's that? So fundamentally, there's no such thing as bad ideas. Every idea that you have is going to be a good idea, and we're going to help you take it to the level. So when you guys are thinking your ideas, and I see some of you have some great ideas already, so I'm going to take you through some steps on how you can formulate those ideas even stronger, and how you can kind of take them to the next level and add some elements to it. So really, we're going to walk through 10 different ways to to generate ideas. You know, remembering that, you know, I've been doing entrepreneurship counseling a long time, and I've talked about the video store before. I currently run a social media company that's had venture capital and is looking for its Series A. I have another company. So, I've ran a lot of businesses. I've heard of a lot of people who've run businesses, and fundamentally, the ideas are just out there. There's just so many of them. They're a dime a dozen. And, I always say there's not really an original idea. If every original idea I thought of, I went and searched, and there's a similar idea out there that I've been able to use. So this is, as we go through this, these are ways to get you thinking about your ideas, to add a little more texture to it and things. And the first is copying. And this may seem like an awful thing, and I'm not telling you to go rip off somebody else's idea. What I'm telling you is that there are amazing people doing amazing things in this world. And oftentimes, especially here in Nova Scotia, things take a long time to get here. So we don't see innovation and the newest things that are happening in a market until they've become fairly mature. So if you're looking for good ideas, Matt, I see you're having troubles with sound. Does anyone else have problems with sound other than Matt? I don't want to keep going if no one can hear me. No? Matt, you might try just logging out and logging back in. And we're recording it, Matt, so we'll send it off to you afterwards, so that if you miss anything by logging out. We're cutting in and out a bit for a couple of them. How bad is the cutting in and out? Maybe, what do you want to do? Maybe
so maybe they could just log.
It's totally cut out for you, Matt. So you guys got to tell us if we're cutting in and out. I'm I'm sharing all these very exciting things, and you're taking. Then you can. That's nice. Thank you, Aurora, taking notes and publishing them. That's very helpful. So if your sound's cutting out, just try logging out and logging back in. If it doesn't work, just let me know in the chat window, and we'll slow it down, because I tend to get into a zone here, and I'll be rolling. So where was I? Yeah, so I was talking about copying. So one of the things you can do is, so let's say, Aurora, I see you're from Yarmouth. So let's say you're looking around Yarmouth and you're thinking, what would be cool is if I could do a summer business, something to do with lawn care in Yarmouth. Well, search landscaping and lawn care, but look to places like Asia and Europe, and look at who's doing really cool things. There was a couple of students here 2 years ago that actually, looking at lawn care, started looking at this thing that's happening in the States where you paint the grass. So it's still landscaping, but it's actually using a green biodegradable paint to paint grass. So, just look around and see what's out there that you might be able to utilize and start your own business there. Because there's nothing wrong with saying, you know what, I was in Halifax the other day. I saw a really cool, ice cream shack on the waterfront. I want to do something like that here in Yarmouth or here in Antigonish or wherever you're from. So, don't be afraid to get out there, see what's already out there, and copy it for yourself. I think another good strategy as well in coming up with good business ideas is to. So welcome back, Matt. I see you're chatting. And I'm going to stop whenever I see somebody make a comment. I'll chop and try and address it and answer questions that you have and stuff. There and look for an opportunity to grab one or two ideas and combine them. Thanks, Ashwin. I was just about to ask you to mute there. And I give you examples here on the screen, right? Like, a drive-through bank machine. Well, we know that drive-through bank machines exist right now, but when did that become, the norm? It was somebody that said, we have the fast food industry that does drive-throughs, and then we have bank machines that are about convenience. Why don't we combine those together to offer a brand new product in a drive-through bank machine? And you see this all the time, whether it's vehicles with televisions and something as simple as the sesame seed bun. So, get out there and look for, what could merge with this? Could I grab a cell phone that also is a chair. Now, I know that seems pretty ridiculous, but the truth is the opportunities are endless. Don't limit yourself by it being ridiculous. Just say, here's two things that I think are cool. What if I put them together? Is there a business there? So that's often a really good way to come up with cool, innovative ideas. The other good way is to solve problems. Does anyone, if someone wants to put in the chat window a problem that you have, like, you know what, I hate it when I have to use my teeth to roll up a Tim Hortons, roll up the rim. Not eating more, Tiffany, not eating more than one chocolate bar a day. I mean, that's a problem we all face, right? We want to eat way more. A willpower app, I like it. And that's the kind of thing, is that you think about problems that we all face, and then you, boards, old and lethargic people on boards and nonprofits. Absolutely. That's, I see where your nonprofit's going, Aurora. But, you look to the problems that people are facing, and you create a product that solves the problem. No matter how silly that product is, if it's a real problem, it's going to sell like crazy. And a great example of that is the selfie stick. I think you've probably seen someone out there with a selfie stick. You might have one of your own, but the idea that someone was like, hey, my arm is not long enough to use a selfie. And so therefore I need a stick to put one on. Am I still cutting out? Are people hearing everything? I got a message from one of our things that we're cutting out. Still good there, eh? Canning, but can't afford the cost. I'm good. All right, everyone seems to be good. So if you start cutting out, like I said, just log on and log off for recording it. And if you miss the punchline to one of my jokes because you cut out, I promise you it's hilarious, because they always are. But yeah, that's like I said, the selfie stick, all these kinds of stuff. So just write down problems you're facing. The high cost of tanning, I think I just saw there before it disappeared. This is a problem. You can solve it with your business idea. Be innovative. A selfie stick and a tripod stand. That's the kind of stuff, right? So now you've taken something that exists there and you moved it, and to be able to do selfies from a distance without using that really funny looking stick. So another thing you can do is be innovative, and being innovative simply means taking something and doing it better. And that's actually the philosophy that I took when I had the video store. When I launched my video store, I thought, okay, here's how a normal video store is run, and I'm going to try and do it better. So, for instance, I had changed all the category names. So instead of an action section of my video store, you actually had a kick-ass section, and it was named Kick-Ass Movies. We had a cheese section, because we all know that there are cheesy movies that exist. So I would put them in there, and then I would make people feel bad when they would go after it. So this is the kind of stuff, be innovative is taking ideas, finding an idea and improving on it. And I like that you guys are looking at different ideas and actually working on them and stuff like that. Spencer, I think you're from Halifax West. So so be innovative. Don't be afraid to be innovative, because the thing about being innovative is, we go back to what I was talking about before, that fear of what others think. When you're being truly innovative, people will tell you, no, you can't do this because no one's ever done it that way before. That's when you know you're on to something. Because as soon as people start saying you can't do it, it means that nobody's done it before, which means it should be a challenge for you to get out there and actually do it. Another way to build good businesses is to use the skills that you currently have. Ask yourself, what do you do really well? And we all do stuff. We all do stuff well. And then ask yourself, well, can I actually make money doing it? When I was in high school and in university, I was always really good at numbers. I was really good at math. So if that's a skill that one of you has as well, then I saw, a couple of people put up accounting businesses. That might have been a good business for me to get into, is accounting, because that's a good skill that I have, and I can do addition and all this kind of stuff really well. So just, identify some skills that you have. So maybe in the chat window, some people throw out some skills that you have, and then we'll maybe as a group, we'll kind of talk about, well, what are some businesses that could go along with those skills? So as you think of a skill that you have, throw it into the chat window. So design, Lindsay, that's great. So is that design on like web design and stuff, Lindsay? Nice. I like to see, I'm seeing lots of good stuff. Yeah, web design, perfect. And web design is such a great skill to have. And obviously, getting into design business is a real easy thing. And, soccer. So Ashwin, have you ever thought of teaching soccer or doing a soccer camp over the summer? That's the kind of stuff you could kind of look at. So this is it. Just, the key to business is doing things that you love. And usually your skills are tied to things that you love. And in addition to that, your hobbies are tied to things that you love. And that's always the key in business. I'll tell you right now, if you're getting into business because you're thinking to yourself, I want to make $1 million, I think that's a great goal. But it should be about just doing something you love. And let me tell you, when you do stuff that you love, every dollar feels like $1 million. So get out there and, just what do I do as a hobby, and then turn it into some sort of business, whatever that is, whether it's playing piano or reading. You just want to make people happy. That's fantastic, Rachel. And I like is that a fax machine plus craft dinner? That's I like it. So get out there and look to your hobbies, look to the things that you can do that will really have this thing. Another thing you can do, if you guys are if you're struggling finding ideas, is just get out there and look around. Interestingly enough, the way that I decided to start a video store was somebody walked into my home and said, hey, I just read a newspaper ad announcing that there's a space at Dalhousie University for rent. What business do you think could go in there? And I was like, a video store could go in there. And I went to Dal as my undergrad. So I was like, yeah, they need a video store on campus. That's how I started the idea. It wasn't that I was like, I have this video store idea and now I want to find a place to put it. I found a place and was like, what business can I put in the place that makes sense to me? And I had always, of course, wanted to do a video store, so that worked out well. But, just read the newspaper, find out what's going on in your local area. Go visit some other businesses in your neighborhood and say, what challenges are you facing? What do you think there's not enough? And you'll find they'll be pretty open, especially those of you, as young people getting into business, we still have that hook. And I say we because I'm not young anymore, but so I don't have the hook. But all of you have the hook. And what that hook is that people love to support young people. Experienced business people, if you're running a business and you go in and say, yeah, I'm 23, I'm running this business, would you support me? Chances are they're going to support you because we want to see our youth succeed. So, just get in your car or get on your bike, drive around the neighborhood, see what's out there, and, and try and turn it into some sort of business. Part of that is just get out there and talk to people. Ask your parents what they think the community's always needed. Ask your friends what they think. Ask your teachers. Ask business people. Basically talk to anyone that will listen, not only about what would make a good business, but if you have an idea, tell everyone that will possibly listen about it. It's one of the challenges that I see the most, that people are afraid to share their idea because we never want somebody to steal our idea. Well, if you're worried that someone's going to steal your idea, then I think what you're worried is that somebody can do it better than you. And let me tell you, they can't. Nobody will ever do your idea better than you. And they're telling you about other places, and it gives. Sorry, I'm just reading what you wrote there, Rachel. I want to be. So what you're saying, Rachel, is that they're telling you about other places, and you feel like your idea won't be able to keep up, or you'll be able to take ideas from theirs. you don't mind just clarifying that, and then I can address it. But really, I always say, take idea. They would take ideas. Yeah, sorry. See, I'm trying to get into full conversations and stuff. But Rachel, share your idea. People are going to give you. Some people will say, "Hey, I think this is a great idea." Some people will say, "Oh, I know of another business out there that's already doing it." In all of those cases, just listen. Oh, okay, good. Listen to them. Take as many ideas as you can, and you will be shocked, of how innovative talking to people will be. And I'll give you an example. When I had the video store, one of the challenges I faced is because, like you, I was a student. I just fresh out of university starting it, so I didn't have a lot of money, and I had spent it all on movies coming into the store. And then I had this problem where I didn't have shelves, so I had nothing to put my movies on, and I was literally out of money. And so I went to this store, and they had shelves for sale, and the shelves were going to cost me, I think, like $3,000 or $4,000. I could not afford it. So I told everyone that would listen to me. I just kept saying, "Hey, I need shelves. I don't know what to do. Hey, I need shelves. I don't know what to do. Hey, I need shelves. I don't know what to do." And eventually, and it was actually my father. I was chatting with him, and he said, "Have you ever thought of rain gutters?" And I said, "No, I have no idea what you're talking about. I don't even know what a rain gutter is, to be totally honest." Or I didn't then, or I didn't really know. And so he said, "No, I think we could get plastic rain gutters, and they would work as shelves." So we actually went to the local hardware store. We bought a bunch of rain gutters. We went back to the video store, put them on the shelf. They worked amazingly well. All the shelving in my store cost me like $150 total. So this is what you get when you talk to people. You get interesting ideas. And you know what the best part of all that was? Is that when people would come in the store, they would have no idea that they were rain gutters. And everyone would ask me, where did you get your shelves? They're so cool. And then I'd be like, "Well, they're plastic rain gutters. So thanks for the compliment." So this is why you get out there and you talk with people and listen to what they say. Part of that is whoever just joined, if you don't mind muting your mic there, I'm getting some feedback. There we go. We're all good. Also you want to daydream. Spencer, thanks for asking how my video store ended. Failed. What's that? Yeah, I'm getting a little bit of, hold on, people. 1 second, folks. I'm getting some feedback. I'm just trying to see where it is. There it is. Thank you. Okay, that's better. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I got Nicole. Thanks, Rachel. Nicole, I hope you don't mind. I just turned your mic off now because I was getting feedback while I was trying to chat here. Spencer, you may have missed it before. The video store in the end, it did horribly well. It failed miserably, but that's part of business. Sometimes you succeed, sometimes you don't. And that's, and I'm here to tell you, you learn so much from all of them. So, the next one, the second last one is just let your imagination run wild. Do the things that you've always wanted to do. If you've had this dream when you were a kid that wouldn't this make a cool business, do it. Do the if onlys. Don't let people tell you what you can do and what you can't do. Just dream about creating an idea. One of the other tools that we can use is brainstorming, and now there's a new version of brainstorming called brainwriting. I'm sure many of you heard of brainstorming before. And in a brainstorm activity, what you do is you sit down, you get out a piece of paper, and you try and write as many ideas as possible. And while that process works really well, it doesn't work nearly as well as brainwriting works. And brainwriting is a process by which you start creating ideas, and then you essentially alter your mind and thought process and start creating more ideas. And then you alter again and create more ideas. So that leads us to the first task that I'm going to be assigning all of you. And this is a brainwriting email chain. And here's how it's going to be. And I'm going to try and explain it. And if it's not clear to you, ask me to explain it more. So we're going to have a list. There's 23 or 22 of you online right now. So we're going to create a list of emails. Hopefully all of you don't mind sharing your emails. We'll get your approval first. We'll email each of you before we put your email in the chain to make sure you're okay with it. But then we will email all of the emails out to you. So let's take an example. I see Peter from Truro and then Rachel. So Peter, I'll send you a list of all the email addresses. And you have your email address, and immediately below you, you have Rachel's, and immediately below Rachel's is Ryan. And the list would be similar to what we're seeing in the attendee list. And here's how it would work. So Peter, you start off in an email, and you write 5 ideas about your own business. Any 5 ideas. I'm thinking of doing this. I'm thinking of doing this. Or maybe you already have an idea. It's an ice cream store, and you're like, I want to do an ice cream shack, and here's an idea, and here's an idea, and here's an idea. Then you send it to, so you put your 5 ideas, and then you look at the email that's directly below yours in the chain. And in this instant, it would be Rachel. You send that list to Rachel. Now, Rachel's received an email from you with 5 ideas about your business on it. And what she does is adds 5 more ideas about your business. And then she sends the email to Ryan, and he does the same, and so on, until eventually David, who's above Peter, you'll get Peter's email, David, you'll add your 5, and then you'll send it back to Peter. So then what's happened is, Peter, you started off with 5 ideas for your business, and because we have 20 people, you're now going to have 150 ideas when the email chain is done. And this will work for every single person on the email chain. So all of you are constant, 20 different times, you're going to get an email, put 5 ideas, send it away. Get an email, put 25 ideas, send it away. This is what's called brainwriting. It's one of the most effective tools for creating innovative ideas that exist. So we'll be getting in contact with you to make sure you're okay with your email being included. I strongly encourage you to, because part of this program is about sharing with one another. It's important that if you're going to be part of the email chain for the first task, that you're willing to make sure that you check your email at least every day and answer the ones that you get so that the chain keeps moving. Because in this situation, for the Startup 100, we're only as strong as our weakest link. And if somebody in the chain doesn't forward it, then poor Peter's not going to get his 150 ideas. And this should be about not only developing your own ideas, but developing the ideas of everyone else in the program as well. So that's your very first task. And like I said, you'll have these 125 ideas. Believe me, it is one of the coolest things I've ever been part of. I remember Jared, you saw it how long ago? It was like a couple months ago for the first time. And I remember him coming up to me afterwards going, this is awesome. Yeah. It's a really great tool for generating ideas. And it'll be a lot of fun. And it'll get you guys to start talking with one another and getting to know one another as well. So that's going to be your first task, which is pretty cool. So then now what? You're going to generate all of these great ideas, but how do you decide which idea to use or which idea is best? So I'll give you a couple of things that you do. I mean, first you start evaluating it. I mean, let's look at where we're at. We're getting out of one of the worst winters ever, hopefully, but you're going to be heading into the summer months. So starting up a snow shoveling business, probably not a good idea. Would you have a retail clothes store at a nudist colony? Probably not a good idea. The idea, just take all the ideas you have and then say, okay, well, what makes the most sense? And this is where we can help. And you're going to be matched with students from the Enactus team here at St. Mary's University. You're going to be matched with people like myself and Jared. This is where our expertise comes in, and we'll give you good advice on this. We'll say, have you thought about this? Have you thought about that? Yeah, sorry, Spencer, I'm seeing your question now. No, yeah, so Spencer, every time you get a new email, you come up with 5 ideas based on the email that you're reading. So your idea might be a landscaping business and your original 5 ideas had to do with that. But then the next email you get is maybe somebody just lives in Yarmouth and doesn't know what to do. And you're going to give 5 ideas based on what you're reading. usually you'll read the ideas that have been given before and you add on to it. So it's what creates the stuff. So yeah, so when you get into the evaluation, just perform some rudimentary research. Get out there and say, okay, of these ideas, what would be the best? And go back to the people in your community, to your parents, and say, you know what? I just got this 125 ideas from the people in the program. I narrowed it down to these 5. What do you think would be a really cool idea? And, that will help you evaluate and pick which idea is the best. That being said, you can always kind of move backwards if something doesn't work and go with another idea. Some of the questions that you want to ask in the evaluation period are, do you have the skills to pull this off? I mean, it would be great to run a hospital, but can you actually run a hospital, and do you have the skills? Do you have enough money? So we talked about the access to funding in this program. Provided you are 15
to 35.
15 to 35, and you live in Nova Scotia, and you plan on returning to school in the fall, then you can access up to $5,000 for your business. So that's kind of that core funding that we've formed as a partnership through this program with the Students in Business Loan Program. That $5,000 is interest-free, so you won't ever pay interest on it. And in fact, we'll work with you to set a good repayment schedule. And when you pay it back, you get a rebate, and it's usually about 10%. So if you borrowed $5,000, you pay that $5,000 back from all of your revenue. Now you get an extra $500. So that's how much money you should be looking at. Maximum to start this up is $5,000. If you don't hit those criteria, if you're not living in Nova Scotia or from Nova Scotia, I believe you have to be a Canadian citizen too.
No, I don't think
no. Oh, you might not even have to be a Canadian citizen, which would be awesome. But anyway, if you don't fill the criteria, there are other options, and we'll work with you to find other options if you do need money to start your business. But anyway, these are questions you'll ask. Who's going to use your service? Is it suited to your geographic region? Is anyone else in the area doing it? Is it legal? Obviously we want these businesses to be very legal. Is it time sensitive? All sorts of questions. And if an idea doesn't meet your requirements, you eliminate it and move to the next idea. Not afraid to say, yeah, you know what, this is a great idea, but it's not going to work. Because again, remember, it's implementation that helps. For our point of view, what we're hoping our requirements for your ideas is does it add to your community? And are you considering that triple bottom line? And we want you to think that, because social enterprise is so important in today's day and age. And there's lots of little ways that you think about the triple bottom line. But honestly, we're going to educate you on this as well. By thinking about the triple bottom line, you oftentimes increase your revenues and reduce your costs. And that's an important thing in business. So we'll be talking to you about that and looking to help social enterprises. And I think it was Aurora, you are planning on doing a not-for-profit, so yours right out of the gates is probably going to be some sort of social enterprise that we'll be able to really look at. So task 2. In 1 week from today, I want each of you to send me an email and Jared an email of your idea. What are you going to do? How will you make money? Because by then the email chain should be finished, and you did. Oh, I love this. Jacob is asking Lindsay for help so that he can build his website. That's fantastic, and that's what this program's all about, is all of you sharing with one another and helping each other, and I like it. So we will absolutely be giving you a reminder, Ashwin. We'll be giving you lots of reminders in this program. We'll talk to you about all the tasks. We'll remind you of the email chain. We'll send you the task too. And if in a week you're not ready to send us your idea, then we'll give you more time. But it's really just about you. You remember what I said in the very beginning?
Yeah. Can I answer that?
Oh yeah, sure.
Yeah. So that's a good question. What we'd like to do is add everyone to a closed Facebook group for now. So is there anyone in this chain here who doesn't have Facebook? Anyone else other than Sarah? Okay, Sarah, Yeah. Thanks, Evan. No, Sarah, we can talk and see if
there's another option.
If there's another option or something, or yeah, okay,
something that'll work for you. But yeah, our goal is to create that, that group for all of you to talk with one another, to talk with us, because this is what it's about: is sharing information, sharing skills, working together, so that the 100 students in this program will take an active interest in the other 100 students in this program being successful. And if you care more about if you care about your business, but you also care about Sarah's business and Peter's business and Rachel's business and Sydney's business and Spencer's business, then trust me, you guys are all going to be successful. And like I said, I loved the little interaction right there in the chat, just asking to share skills and web design, stuff like that. Another opportunity that we're going to send you, beyond the training that we do in this program, something that we do here at St. Mary's University is something called Sobey School Solutions. So what that is a series of morning training workshops that covers very specific topics. And over the next number of weeks, it's all about web and online and IT. So those of you that are going to be doing websites or are looking for how to use IT to your best ability, then these workshops are going to be pretty interesting to you. There's going to be a WordPress workshop. There's going to be one on web advertising, one on web analytics and search engine optimization. So we'll send you out the links to all of those trainings, so you can sign up for those as well. Normally, there's a fee associated with going to those specific training sessions, but for you guys as part of the Startup 100, it will be free of charge. So you had task 1 and task 2, and I've given you lots of ways to come up with some ideas. So that's kind of it for today. I mean, honestly, we're going to do a number of these kind of things throughout the program. We're going to talk with you. We're going to those trainings that we've talked about. There's going to be lots of opportunities to chat. Right now, does anyone have any specific questions or anything for us or other participants? Yeah, send your email. You'll send the email to Jared. That email, the email chain that I was talking about, will come with instructions. It'll come from me. So don't. Oh yeah, we could do a LinkedIn group. Is anyone not on LinkedIn? Who was the one? Sarah, you weren't on Facebook. Spencer, you're not on.
Yeah, I think
so. LinkedIn has reduced its age requirement to 13.
Okay.
So everyone could be on LinkedIn, which is a really good business tool. So we may want to look at that.
We can do that later, but I think for now, Facebook seems everyone has it. So.
Oh yeah, your idea email should be sent to Jared. We'll follow up with that. And
yeah,
we're going to remind you of all these tasks. We're going to become a pain in your guys' butts because we're going to constantly be talking to you and encouraging you to do more and challenging you to win some of our cool badges. That's what you want. That's good. Because trust us, that's what we like to do. And I got to say this. Already I'm pretty impressed. We had 20 of you register for this tonight. I see there's 23 online.
Some people snuck in.
Some people snuck in, which I like. But most importantly, you were all early. I think when we signed on, a bunch of you were already signed on. And I love that kind of passion. And with that kind of passion, this program's going to be a success, and your businesses are going to be a success. So. I appreciate you being part of this. We're excited to see where it's going to end up. It's going to be some pretty cool businesses, and then we'll be looking at in the summer, kind of celebrating the businesses you start and looking at early in September but maybe before school starts, trying to bring people together and something like that. So it's going to be cool. You just posted the notes into the public notes. That's fantastic. Into the public notes of this of any meeting. Aurora? Okay, perfect. Sorry, I just meant the program, any meeting. Ashwin, we will be, I think, hiring people in the human resources. That is something we're going to be talking about, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely.
We're going to talk about that. One of the sessions is all about taking your business to the next level. It's high growth training, and we'll be talking about it during that portion for sure.
All right, perfect. Thanks so much for doing that, Aurora. Really appreciate it. So now that you've gone through this training, it's kind of a requirement for everyone in the program to do this one, just so that we can get to meet everyone. Now we'll be setting up the social group. You'll join it, and we do this training again Wednesday, and then so another group of like 20 are going to join you then, and then eventually you're all going to know and work with one another. Nah, no worries. Thanks, Lindsay. It's been a lot of fun. We enjoy this stuff. It's great. Anyone else have any questions? I mean, we still have a few minutes, so we can just feel free to turn your microphone on so that it's not just mine and Jared's voices that we've heard. We don't mind hearing you. When's the next one?
So the next mail out is going to be going out next Monday, and then you'll have the week to work on it. So part of the reason why we're asking for your business ideas at the following session is going to be creating the vision and the mission for your business. So kind of looking at a longer term plan.
Yeah, I love that idea as well, Chloe. So when we create the email chain, there will be room for that for you to include in your original one, talk about yourself and who you are, and then your 5 ideas so that people get to know you. So that's great. Thanks, Jacob. Really appreciate it. Click more at the top center and then take notes. Okay. Oh, yeah, there we go. Cool. So we'll gather those notes as well. So we've recorded this session, so if you ever want to go back and watch it again and just hear my amazing voice and Jared's amazing voice, you can at any time. Plus, you'll be able to go through the slides, most importantly, and then help remind you to come up with ideas. I'm really looking forward to seeing some of the businesses you guys come up with.
Yeah, same guys. I'm super excited to be working with you, and I just want to let you know if at any point you need to reach out, don't hesitate. You have my email, you have my phone number, so please feel free to reach out. I'm also going to be probably calling you guys randomly or sending you notes just to see how you enjoy the sessions and if there's any places that we could be making improvements.
Where can you go to listen to the recorded version? Now that's an excellent idea or excellent question, Sydney.
So Sydney, it's going to be a YouTube channel, and that's where all of the sessions are going to be recorded and placed. So every week we'll be sending out that. It'll be via our YouTube channel. Does that answer your question?
I love that you're all talking about Jurassic Park right now as well. So that's amazing. And this recorded session from any meeting, I'm not sure I don't know if we'll be able to throw that on YouTube.
I think we can.
We can?
Yeah,
okay.
We should be able to. Yeah.
We should be able to. We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
We're like this is a pilot for us, so there's some stuff we're still going to be feeling out, see how it works. I got to be honest though, this exceeded both Jared and mine's expectations. You guys have been extremely interactive and asked a lot of cool questions, and we're looking forward to working with all of you and seeing your awesome businesses. All right. If there's no other questions, I think we can probably, Ashwin, we will be looking, I mentioned in the summer, we're going to be looking for an actual meetup. But in addition to that, we're going to be encouraging people from similar communities. So those of you, if there's a couple of you doing a business in Yarmouth, we're going to encourage you to have your own meetups in those communities, where we will also encourage community members to join you and talk about your business. So we'll be doing that.
Yeah, and like Mike mentioned, we want to have a meetup in the summer, and part of that's going to be, a certificate for completing this program. So this program is also something that you can put on your CV. It's going to become a flagship program that is going to be sought after. So we want to make sure that you're happy with results and that you're able to put this thing in and use it on your CV.
That's great, Lindsay. I like that. So once we get you guys into that social group, then we'll start setting these meetups. But Lindsay, you let me know when you have some people getting together in Dartmouth and Halifax, and I would gladly come to it and give you guys my 2 cents. So and we'll try and do that as well. And just to let you know, in addition to this program, we're always traveling the province for a variety of other programs we do. So anytime we're headed out that way, I'm happy to tell people in the community, hey, we're going to be there if you guys want to organize a little meetup and talk about your businesses. So we'll do that as much as we possibly can. All right, if that's it for everyone, I don't see too many more questions coming. It's been really great getting to know you, and thanks for participating, everybody. And we'll be in contact very soon with the email chain. Have a good night.